Alright. Hello there, people. What's up, everybody? So, first of all, how's my voice coming through? Am I getting drowned out by the Skyrim music, or can you guys hear me okay? Can you hear me? You'll probably be hearing the music behind me, too. A tad drowned? Okay. I shall address that. Okay, is that any better? Is that any better? Check, 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 2, 2. Check, 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 2, 2. Is that better? How's that? How is that as far as the sound is concerned? Check 1, 2. Test, 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 test. Test. Sibilance, sibilance. Fricatives, fricatives. Check, 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 2. How's that sound? A tad louder for me. Alright, how's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, test 1, 2. How's that? How's that? Check, check, check. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3. That's better? Okay. Thank you, Echo. Alright, folks. So, yeah, welcome to the return of Fantasy Fiction Fridays. This is actually, I thought I was going to be on a little bit earlier today to do this, but I have not actually done this so far on my on this new laptop. And actually, this new laptop that I got just at the beginning, I guess right at the end of the semester, last semester, so it was right in December that I got this. This is a T480S. It's a really nice laptop, and it's university issued. And they actually, the last one I only had for 3 years before they renewed it with this one. I thought it used to be every 4. But I'm thinking if this works out where this has the processing power to handle some games, this could be something which down the line could eventually replace ARVBox, because if I were using this and then I took with me the external monitor that I have, it would be a lot easier to just have this plus the external monitor to carry rather than having to carry ARVBox. Even though ARVBox is very portable, it still requires me to bring a little roll-on thing, so it'd be neat if I could use this to replace that. But if not, this will still be good for things like this, Fantasy Fiction Fridays and stuff like that. So, so welcome back to Fantasy Fiction Fridays as I come to you from an undisclosed location in Starbucks. All right, let me try something here. Let's get rid of that and that, and here we go. Well, bam! Oh my goodness! What's up, everybody? There we go. Man, my beard is in need of trimming. You can always tell because more of the it's too big, so it makes my face look fat. Gotta trim this bad boy down. Oh, I already have one, Arinth. I have a really good USB monitor that I got to use with ARVBox, which is USB driven. It's an awesome monitor. I love it. And it's I think it is 15 inches, and it's flat and portable. It's great. The question is whether the reason that I didn't do it before is that having even a small portable computer with its own video card is easier to be able to stream stuff, to take some kind of load off the CPU than just like a regular laptop. But this laptop is definitely picking it up. I mean, it's an i5, but it's a V Pro, and it's 8th generation, and I forget what the other speed of it is. So I've been doing some kind of looking into it and seeing. It's not that ARVBox is a problem. I mean, ARVBox has performed brilliantly everywhere I've ever taken it. I made it I think 4 years ago or something like that. God, I think I had it that long. I probably have. And I did a lot of adjustments to it and everything else. So it's been great, but this thing is 3 pounds. So having a 3-pound thing plus the monitor, which is less than 3 pounds, 5 total pounds of weight, will be a lot easier, especially if I were going, I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling this year for conferences and so on, and going down to Florida, whatever, makes it a lot harder. So, right. See, the thing is, it doesn't. It doesn't. So I have a couple of options there. I could invest in getting an external graphics card, because this does have one of those Thunderbolt ports, and the Thunderbolt ports are supposed to be unbelievably fast and makes you capable of doing something like that. So I could do that, and then I already have the monitor in place. So if the external graphic card with an enclosure costs $300, I could probably swing that, although I'd need to wait a little bit because the Patreon and the subs are a little drained because I've had been doing all the stuff that I've been doing with the videos, the intro videos, and stuff with the channel, and stuff with preparing things for various writing things going on. So I gotta, I don't have it in the Patreon at the moment, but hopefully over time. Oh, cool. Okay, Echo. Yeah, tonight should be a full crew. Tonight's not going to be a full crew because Carlos, Dr. Wynn, Carlos Sleepwell, is not going to be here because he's up at BossCon, which is a conference in Boston. So he's definitely not going to be here. So it's going to be Kat will be here, Johnny, Video Store Cowboy, and Zach will be here. So those 3 will be here. And then, next month we should be back. We should have had a full crew on Saturday, but then there was I don't want to talk about it unless the person wants to bring it up, but there was a medical thing that came up. So nothing we could do about it. But we had fun with the lasers and friends anyway. But the reason I want to do this is that we're close to the end of this Consigned to Oblivion adventure, and after this, things are going to open up in terms of, it's going to be a little bit more hub-based for a little bit, where they're going to have a spot where they can kind of hunker down, and like that'll be their base from which they can do different things before they go off on their next set of adventures. So. Apartment cleaning, etc., etc. Okay, that sounds good. Thanks, Echo. So anyway, for those of you who have not been here, it's been probably a good 5 months or something like that since I've done one of these. And I used to do them fairly regularly last year, and then I had other stuff that I had to do. So basically, this is a chance for me to do a little bit of writing, to share it with all of you. This is my work in progress that I'm currently working on. So I'm going to pop over to a screen where I can do that, and I'll be interacting with you folks here and there. It's no frills. I don't actually have any of my alerts set up yet. So if anyone does any resubs and things like that, I'm not going to see it yet because I don't have that all hooked over. I had to install OBS from scratch and everything, so I don't yet have all that stuff yet. But soon. Hey, what's up, Chrono? Yeah, agreed, Aaron. Yeah, that's right. You did watch me do one. Yeah, I used to. I mean, this is, like I said, the 16th one of these. I've done like, I don't know, 13 or 14 of these last year. So, because usually what happens is I come out here, my daughter's in school, and so I usually am doing work here on Fridays at an undisclosed Starbucks, and then I leave and go pick her up. Now today I have to leave a little earlier because actually was getting my car, needed to get state inspection and get an oil change, little stuff like that. So I dropped it off, and they called me, and everything's good. So I'm gonna have to walk there. It's like a 10-minute walk from here. So I'll need to leave a little bit earlier to make that happen. So I'll probably close up shop in about 2.5 hours, something like that roughly. But yeah, so we will see how this goes. And I wanted to see how this would work with this new laptop. So is my hat crooked? Good. Anyway, all right, let's head over and do it. All right, now. Oh, my Discord. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna close out my Discord. I'm not gonna close it out. Just exit out. Okay. So we got this. We got this. Oh. Is it that Starbucks that serves the decent coffee? Well, I'm actually having English breakfast tea. Is what I'm having today. So I got my English breakfast tea going on. And I had oatmeal, and then I still have what's left of my spinach feta wrap. And the last thing I have a little lemon loaf. So good. I think I'm ready to go. So feel free to ask questions as time goes along. I strike you as the T-sort. What's up, Nonstop? How you doing, man? I strike you as the T-sort. Do I, Aaron? I don't know. I guess that's a good thing. Did I try the crepe? I did not even know that such a thing existed. I've tried their egg bites, and yes, I am. But I don't know what you mean by crepe. What crepe? Also, I need to change glasses. Ugh. Oh, sort of more English-ish. Yeah, you know, the funny thing is that I actually kind of like coffee. I like coffee flavoring. Like I like mocha, and I like coffee ice cream and stuff. But I just don't particularly care for coffee. My father loved black coffee, so he would just get like straight black, and I was always like, yeah, no. Oh, scone. Oh, yes, I have had their scones before. I have had their scones. Although I have to say that I really like cinnamon scones, and they have right now strawberry, which is not bad. But yeah, I like the lemon loaf. Their donuts are pretty good. Occasionally I get a cookie. Depends. And of course, I don't do this that often, obviously, so. Let's see, so we got, I'm just setting this up. Unfortunately, this thing is kind of annoying me because I had to display capture Microsoft Word, and I don't know why. Because it doesn't pick up windowed. For some reason, it doesn't want to capture this in windowed mode. And when I do game capture, it captures the ribbon, but it doesn't capture anything else. So I have to do display capture, and the problem with that is not a lot of room. Obviously, there is not a lot of room on this screen, even though it's a decent sized screen. But excuse me, there's not a lot of room to maneuver. So I have to kind of set this up and make sure that everything is working correctly. Okay. True. I could hide my ribbon bar, but this part of the manuscript, like that part of the screen, is not really the problem. It's really horizontal space that's the issue more than vertical space, right? So, but it's not a big deal. Okay, we got that. We got the microphone. We got set. Good to go. Also, it's not even close to the page that I'm on. I'm on page 154. All right, so typically what I like to do is I like to read the section right before I started writing, or before I was writing the last time, to kind of pick stuff up, so I can remember where I was when I was doing this. In case people are curious, this is my middle grade novel in progress, which is called Winnie and Wormwood, and currently is sitting at about 38,000 words. The goal is to get up to about 50,000, and so I'm in the middle of so once I finish this chapter, then I have one more kind of like interlude sequence, which is sort of like 1/3 the size of a normal chapter, and then the concluding chapter, and then the epilogue. So probably we're in good shape, I think, to end up. And my goal is to try to get this done, if I can, by the end of the semester, because this summer, basically from June on, is going to be nuts. I've got a bunch of stuff that I can't talk about yet, publishing-wise, that's coming out, and so I'm going to want to be querying this at that point, basically sending this out to agents, etc. And I'm not going to be able to do that if, I'm not going to have time to do a bunch of other things, because I'm going to have to be promoting stuff that's already there, going to conferences, revising a bunch of things on other projects and stuff, so I need to make sure that I kind of get the decks cleared on this one. So yeah. Also, there's a part of me that kind of wants this to be finished and being queried while my daughter, who has been kind of my main beta reader for this, since she is in fact in 5th grade, is still in middle grade. Like basically 5th and 6th grade are the times. Then when you get to 7th grade, it's starting, I guess it's still middle grade, but you're starting to push YA at that point. So anyway. All right, so let's get it going on. Oh, you know what I just realized, actually? After I just said that thing about how vertical space is not the issue, I just realized that it's kind of the issue, actually, because you folks probably want to see what I'm working on. There we go. Okay, that's more like it. All right, so I'm going to read this section and then we'll get into the writing. The Great Lawn didn't seem all that great to Winnie, at least not in terms of size. It was a medium-sized portion. It was a. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's the upstairs. Here, I'll mute. So I'm going to mute it, and then you tell me if it's just Skyrim now. How's that? Was that... Okay. Yeah, that's what I figured. So I'm going to have to leave the mic on while I'm speaking, but then I'll try to mute it when I'm just doing writing. It was a... I'll do it that way. It was a medium-sized portion of grass with a small fountain in the middle around which the buildings which made up most of Crail Stevens stood, and it wasn't even large enough to hold all the students in the school at once. Different classes took their breaks at different times, 1st through 4th years in the morning, 5th through 8th years right around midday. The courtyard, which was at the far back of the school's property, was where graduation and other ceremonies for everyone at Crail Stevens took place. Still, it was pretty. There were a number of old oak and maple trees planted around the edge of the lawn, and since it was mid-autumn, the leaves were just beginning to change color. Dressed in light coats, the younger students raced up and down the middle of the space, jumping out of the way of the fountain at the last moment and daring the others to do so even closer the next time, while older students stood around the edges of the great lawn and chatted with each other, laughing and pointing at the lower years. Winnie was standing on the edge too, but not next to either group. She was too old to run through the lawn, though she would have liked to try it if she had been invited. And she was still too young to talk to the higher years, and didn't feel like facing the staring eyes of her classmates again quite yet. So she watched from a safe distance, breathing in the cool, fresh air, and looked up at the clear blue sky. Above her, she saw a streak of silver gray getting closer, and after a moment, a gray bird fluttered onto the top branches of the tallest tree in the great lawn, an old oak near the opposite end of the space from where she stood. She smiled and gave a small wave. At least Dovey was a familiar and friendly face. "Do you know that bird?" a voice said at her elbow, and she started and stumbled to her left before turning to see the boy standing next to her. "Do you always just show up like that?" Winnie replied, feeling her heartbeat beginning to slow. "Can't you warn people before talking for the first time?" The boy grinned. "Sorry, Winnie. Sometimes I forget to let people know I'm standing next to them. Usually it's because I want to make things more interesting, at least." He wore an innocent look, but Winnie was not deterred. "What's your name?" she demanded. "You know, you just walked out after class today. Not very nice of you if you're..." Okay. Good, lovely. I still don't like the way this looks, so I'm going to adjust one more thing. I am going to get rid of the ribbon entirely, thereby proving Aaron's wisdom. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, it's a good point, Aaron. Sometimes what I do is I sometimes alternate the kind of, or rotate, I should say, the music that I use. This is one of my go-tos. I also like using sometimes Witcher 3 OST. This this particular chapter felt a little bit, or this particular section of the chapter felt not quite like that. But the Witcher 3 OST is a little bit more kind of upbeat, or not upbeat, but a little more dynamic, I guess. But yeah, it's a little bit chill. The problem is that most music, if it's got lyrics, lyrical music anyway, I find a little distracting because I kind of concentrate on the words. When I'm trying to actually write words, it doesn't help to be having words in my ear. And so this music is sometimes helpful to, just kind of pleasant instrumental. Although I also really, really love classical music. Welcome back, Echo. I actually thought about using some classical guitar by Bach. I don't know how that would affect things. Maybe I'll do that anyway, now that I think of it. Bear with me for 1 second. I love this, so
Good grammar and
not that. Okay. There we go. I love classical guitar. I love classical guitar, and I'm always been a fan since I was probably in college, or even a little bit before that. Well, yeah, mostly when I was in college. I would listen to classical guitar when I was really kind of, writing extensively on papers and stuff like that, and I really had to get stuff done. Classical guitar was often my go-to, and especially Bach. I like Spanish guitar music as well, but Bach is like, he is all that in a bag of chips. Yeah, this is the Chaconne in D minor by Bach, and it's arranged by a guy named John Feely, who's good player. By the way, how's I don't think I'm dropping a lot of frames and stuff. Is everything okay in terms of not too much buffering and things like that? I hope. Not too much buffer. It remains biased towards the Skyrim. Okay, good. Yeah, as I say, it's going to be a little bit of tweaking as I get this working. In general, I'm very happy with this. The only only issue with this laptop is that I don't think the keyboard is quite as good as my old laptop was. It's not quite as good, but other than that, everything about this laptop, it's faster, screen is good, it's really fast. It's an SSD, so it takes 10 seconds to boot up and shut down. Much lighter, and the battery life is sick. Like, right now I have it plugged in, but typically the battery life on this is about 8-9 hours. If I'm doing heavy video, it's probably like 5. It's pretty damn good. If I'm doing just sort of basic, like, regular use stuff, it's 8-9 hours, sometimes even 10 or 11 if I really, like, pushed it, which is a big improvement on the last one, so. Yeah. Well, I have SSD on Artbox, and on my new desktop computer I have SSD. No, I mean, the only thing about SSD is that it's still considerably more expensive, but the reality is that solid-state drives hard drives are not. I imagine they'll still have uses for storage, like access and stuff like that, but long term, they're not. Long term, it's all about the SSD. That's where the industry's going, and should be. So yeah, I'm all about that SSD. Oh, exactly. I'm all about that S. SSD. No hard drive. I'm all about that. Do I remember how much it was to ship to Norway? Not off the top of my head, Echo. I don't remember because I have that stuff at home. I don't remember because I just shipped you. Did I ship you a book? I think I just sent you the CD, right? I think I just shipped you the CD. I don't remember. I'd have to take a look. I don't even know where I put that now, actually, to be honest with you, because it was back, I don't know, 3-4 weeks ago that I sent it off to you. Yeah, it's 2 CDs. That's right. Yeah, so I mean, together those things are not even going to weigh a pound, probably. But I don't remember, to be honest with you. I know that I didn't send it. I mean, like, you send it airmail because that's the only way to send it, obviously. But I didn't send it like first class ultra tomorrow. I mean, I didn't do that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. Okay. Yeah, maybe do me a favor, Echo, if you don't mind, and just drop me a quick message in the Discord letting me know to send that to you, and then I can try to do that this evening or, yeah, you know, that this evening or tomorrow or something. And by the way, so tonight is Esper Genesis. That's going to be at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And then tomorrow is D&D with viewers. So if you folks, if anyone wants to play D&D with yours truly, tomorrow will be your chance to do so. We're probably going to get underway about 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, I believe. So, yeah. Oh, and if Aradinel shows up, I'm going to definitely want to talk to him because I have a surprise for him that I'm not at liberty to talk about yet. Echo knows about it, but most people do not, so I'll need to talk to him about it when I see him. But also, if Marinda shows up, I got to talk to him because Marinda gave me... Good morning, Ten of Clubs. How are you? Good to see you, Ten. So Marinda gave me information about... I'll answer that in a second, Aaron. About this thing called A Dark Room. I don't know if you folks have ever seen this. It's really cool. It's basically like a mostly text-driven RPG that apparently came out a couple years ago, and I never heard of it. And it's like this... I can't even really explain it, except it's cool. I may show it at some point. But anyway, so I wanted to thank Marinda for putting me wise to that. It's kind of neat. As far as what module I'm playing, I have no idea, actually. I don't have any idea. I have not even thought about it yet, Aaron. Some cool one-shot, but I don't know yet. Last that we played, when we did D&D with viewers, it was back in December, and we did the Christmas one-shot. So I don't actually know what we're doing this time. Live from the office. Me or you? Are you live from the office right now, Ten? I am live from my undisclosed Starbucks at the moment. Very nice, live from your office. I dig it. Is it any warmer there, 10? Because it's actually warmed up here. It's actually like low 50s now. So the snow that we had on Tuesday is rapidly on its way out. Nice, 10. That's awesome. That's awesome. Has it warmed up at all by you or no? That's funny, Aaron. Hey, Aaron, I know I think you've mentioned this before, so I apologize for asking again, but where are you located again, roughly speaking, in the world? Like, where are you on this planet of ours? The high today will be above 0. I guess that's progress, huh? Wow. Oh, Kansas City. Oh, cool. I was in Kansas City a couple of years ago for Worldcon when it was there. That was where I learned that in Kansas City, people consider, basically think of pickles to be your main vegetable. I have never seen that many meat offerings in the world. Like, they say it's a barbecue, and hell yeah, it is. It is the barbecue. I don't know if it's the barbecue capital, but damn, there's a lot of meat in Kansas City. And I've been in Minneapolis before. In fact, I met a guy that did a presentation for my creative writing class. My friend Brian Talwara, who's a Laotian American poet. I've talked about him before. He was the first. He's the first Laotian American poet to win a National Endowment for the Humanities grant. Very thoughtful, very good poet, very thoughtful guy, smart guy, and he did a presentation to my creative writing kids. And I think he used to live in Minnesota, then he moved to California, and now I think he's back in Minnesota around the Minneapolis area. But the first ever real non-academic conference that I went to, I think even above I went to Gen Con, but the first one that I ever went to from it, where I had like an official role, basically, where I was doing something that wasn't as an academic and it wasn't just going to go to attend it, was the small conference that only happened once, called Fantasy Matters, and it was held near the University of Minnesota, and that's where I met this guy, Brian. And I also met Neil Gaiman there for the first time, who showed up randomly, and it was cool. That was neat. Yeah. Neil Guamanians likes to do that. I thought you were making some like inside joke, 10, that I didn't know. Neil Gaiman. It's interesting that was what it came up with for an autocorrect. Yeah, in fact, he actually, when he came there, it was sort of impromptu. So he actually came to this thing, and he ended up reading from an as yet unpublished book, and it was the opening of the Graveyard Book, which went on to become the first book ever to win the Hugo and the Newbery Award, and like really, really good book. And in fact, this book that I'm writing is influenced somewhat by the Graveyard Book. So anyway, the first time was back in 2007. It was 12 years ago that conference happened. Yeah, World Con was a good time. Okay. More with the music. I mean, yeah, the barbecue at Kansas City was legit, and at that point, I already had to be careful because the whole I had to be a little bit careful with the gallbladder situation. So, oh my gosh, stay hydrated, bud. But thank you, stay hydrated, bud. You feel it's important, you know. Stay hydrated, bud helps. Anyway, so I had to be careful about not to overdo the fat intake, but it was good. I've always liked, I don't love, sauces are okay, but I don't love barbecue sauces, but I do like dry rub. So if I have like a lean dry rub rib or whatever, that's good. It's really good. I've had barbecue in Seattle that was decent, barbecue out here that was decent, but yeah, the barbecue in Kansas City was pretty legit. Oh man, yeah. Oh, do you deal with the same thing, Aaron? Yeah. You know, it's one of those things that, as I've learned over time how to sort of deal, it's become less and less of a concern. But mostly when I'm out somewhere, I sometimes am conscious of the fact that I have to make adjustments to deal with that. So yeah. Oh, really? No, I just have one stone. One very large-sized stone, which is up near the neck of the gallbladder. No, none others, just one. And the only good news about it is that the stone has been shrinking since I started doing this regimen that I'm on. So the stone is gradually shrinking. Because I don't know, I was just like, they were like, oh, you just got to get it out. And I'm like, well, but, I mean, I've had like 3 attacks, and once I figured out what was going on with it, then I was very careful, you know, going forward about it, and then I didn't have any more attacks. I'm like, why would I take it out if I didn't absolutely have to, you know? And so it was actually the surgeon of all people that I talked to. It was the surgeon who was like, you know what, you know, you're not ready to have this taken out, and you don't need to. He's like, you know, you'll know if and when you're ready. He's like, but in the meantime, so it's been shrinking gradually, so that's good. We'll see whether that continued this year. But yeah, it's no fun. It is the worst pain. Like, it is really bad. So yeah, I mean, knock on wood. Yeah, exactly. Knock on wood. I have never had kidney stones, and I've heard that that's worse. And of course, I've never had to go through labor. And judging by what my wife went through, I assumed that it was like the labor would be worse. But like, of the pains that I have been exposed to, and I think I have a reasonably high tolerance for pain, but it was not fun. So yeah. Yes, because what they say is because you can do laparoscopic surgery, which cuts way down in terms of time. Some people can even do it on an almost outpatient basis, so that helps. And then the other thing is that you don't technically need one, but there is a percentage of people that when it comes out, it makes things worse in terms of digestion issues. And, you know, the problem is you can't reverse it. Right, you can't put that genie back in the bottle. If you put someone on medication, you can take them off of medication, and gradually, you can't put one back in. So to me, I was always like, if I got to the point where I was literally having my quality of life significantly impacted, where I couldn't eat, you know, I could only eat like bland rice and oatmeal or whatever, and that was all I could ever have, well then yeah, I would get it taken out because I don't want to live life like that. But that really has not been the case for me. I mean, I can now eat just about anything that I want as long as I don't overdo the amounts. And truthfully, I'm pretty slim. Like, I'm 6'3", I'm 195 pounds. I vary between 190 and 195. So I'm fairly slim. I've never really had trouble with weight, thankfully. I've just been lucky. So, I haven't had to worry about that too much. And, I mean, some of these other things have meant that I've been able to cut down on any bad fats that were left over. The only thing I really miss, like, I can have ice cream, but I don't eat that much ice cream anyway, although I like ice cream and I have it, but I have it very seldom. But the only thing I really miss is cheese. Cheese is, I can have cheese, but just, I have to, like, take it very easy. But I've had cheese curds from Seattle, and I really like that, but I do like cheese. I miss that. I'm much more like a toothpick. Oh, thank you, Ten. That's very kind of you to say. Thank you. Yeah, I am feeling better. I mean, again, as you know, Ten, the last couple of years were an interesting minefield as far as health. 2018 was better. 2017 was very difficult in terms of my health, 16 and 17. 18 was better, and so far 19 has been better also, which is good. I know. Well, so here's the funny thing. It's funny you mentioned that, Aaron. It's not the dairy part, it's the fat part. Now, my daughter, actually, we tried her on, we cut down on her dairy just for a month to see if it would have an effect on, she has kind of a little bit of a nasally, like we think her adenoids are a little swollen, and so we wanted to see if she might have an allergy. So we cut down on her dairy. Didn't like cut it out completely, but cut it down for a month. So we were trying vegan cheese. And I've got to say, so the problem was that vegan cheese still has fat, so you got to be careful about like overdoing it. But I have to say, we have a new thing that we've added into the rotation, which is this lasagna, this vegan cheese lasagna with turkey. It's really good. Like, I remember I was having it and I'm like, whenever I get a dish like that is pretty good for me, and I know I don't have to worry too much about the fat content, I'm like, oh yeah. So we have a set of, like, generally every week we have a set of good meals. We usually have salmon, pesto pasta, and then like a parsley salad. We have, then another night we'll usually have this new lasagna. Another night we might have turkey chili. Another night we'll have like a special kind of flour breaded chicken, which is very low fat, and all this stuff. And remember, now the idea is not to have no fat, because no fat's actually not good for you. The idea is not to have zero fat. The idea is just not to overdo it on the fat. And again, I didn't usually do this, but the few times that I had an attack once was at a Chinese place, which I don't even know how that, I don't know what that was, because I thought I was being careful. One other time was when I had this Mexican, like, basically this burrito thing with too much probably cheese, I guess, and sour cream. I usually don't have that much, but I think I had too much there. And then the other time was the last time in my life that I had McDonald's, which was like 4 years ago now or something like that. Yeah, same, Aaron. I was surprised. The vegan cheese was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. It was pretty good. And I have to assume it's just because they've been pushing, they've realized they need to do this. And I can still have some. I can have like a thin slice of Swiss cheese on a sandwich, that's fine. I can have, as I said, cheese curds, that's fine. So it's just not overdoing it. So, but there's some times where I would like to be able to have, like a sundae and not have to worry, like, not eat it super slowly and like, yeah, exactly, Aaron. Exactly. But like I can have a Chipotle burrito. Normally what I do is I'll go and I'll have chicken, guacamole, beans and rice, and lettuce. And that's it. No sour cream, no cheese. The guacamole gives it a little bit of fat, and that's really, really good. And the key is not to eat too fast. That's the other thing. I never ate all that fast, but this makes it that I'm even more aware of it. So if you eat slowly, your body has more than enough time to prepare it. And frankly, it's better for you to be eating slower anyway. This thing where we get food and we have to like eat it in 5 minutes flat is not good for us. And that's not the way it was designed. Even back in the hunter-gatherer days, we were designed to be eating small things over the course of the time for a while. Guacamole is a good fact. I have to say, fresh guacamole is the best. I love guacamole. I don't like spicy, but mild guacamole is good. Also, I realized that I've been here chatting instead of writing. But these are good breaks. Now I'm just going to start. So this is what would happen, guys, if I was actually doing this. Here you go. Oh man, fresh guacamole is so good. I understand that people think that like there's been this huge avocado conspiracy where now everyone's talking about kind of avocados, but I'm here to tell you guacamole is the bomb, all right? It is so damn good. Oh man, my daughter really likes it too. Even my son, it's hard to find someone who doesn't like guacamole once they've tried it. Like some people don't like the concept of it, but once you try it, super good. Yeah, I can see that, 10. I can see that, sure. The texture could be a little bit that way. But the thing is, it's so, yeah, homemade. Like, it's so creamy is the thing. Like, if you put the kind of creaminess into the burrito, oh man. And it really does replace, like, I never use sour cream much anyway, but like, to me, there is literally no need for sour cream when you have guacamole. Like, cheese has a slightly different flavor, so I can see that, but there's no, like, you don't need sour cream. Like, sour cream adds like an extra creaminess to whatever you're adding it to, but you don't need it when you have guacamole. So, it's legit, Echo. I don't know how good the Norwegian guacamole would be, but... Echo, I am assuming, I think I may have had this discussion with you before. I'm trying to remember from when I was in Norway. So basically, fish is the biggest thing, right? Fish is the biggest... That's the biggest Norwegian-specific food. Is that fair to say? That's true, yeah. Oh yeah, by itself it's like not a thing, but with stuff it's great. Because my favorite fish is salmon, which I adore. So... Lutefisk. Give me 1 sec here. Yeah, I'm just adjusting it. I'm looking for something. I'll put it right back on, Echo. Sorry. There we go. Okay, good. There we go. Change the video. Let's see, let's change it to Alright, here we go. Nope, not that. I don't care about the Pringles ad. Give me my classical guitar. Okay. Alright, here we go. Show me beautiful things, give me music. It's really nice, yeah, that's awesome. Music. Music! Don't care about this, give me music! Stop showing these sweeps. I don't care about the sweeping around the building. Oh my gosh, I get it.
took 3 months.
You must have, won't you have 3 months to learn?
3 months to the, like 3 months almost to the day when I started.
Oh.
I knew I was going to be a chef for about a month before.
Oh, you know what? I didn't actually do a tweet either.
No, I meant like.
No, I'm joking.
My guitarist could probably do that too, Echo. I just realized I didn't tweet this out. Let me retweet it. I did not tweet this out, I forgot. Yeah, I know. Okay. Okay. Now it's up there. Okay. I have now tweeted it out, so now you can feel free to retweet. Okay. closing in on 3 pages. I wanted to be able to get 5 pages written today, so closing in on 3 pages done. One of the things that's been interesting about this particular book is that usually when I'm writing a novel, I have a very long, extensive outline, but this novel is, because it's a middle grade and because of the nature of the influences on it, it's really more of a set of almost short stories that are basically kind of the adventures of this kid with Winnie, with Mr. Wormwood, and so it's a little more episodic, and that means that I think it has an interesting... Another book of mine that I'm thinking about that I might look at down the line is developing my Locke and Watt characters that I did for a short story last year, and I thought about the possibility of developing that out into a novel also. But because of... But because of that, it means that it's not quite as coherent always in my head, and I have to think a little bit more, and I'm probably, as I go through and I'm revising it after the draft is done, I'm probably going to be adding and filling in some stuff, which will be fine. Like, actually revising it after you've drafted it is fine, because you have a structure to work with at that point. You can just kind of build from there. So I don't know. I know Django Reinhardt, but of Django Reinhardt, but I have not listened to a bunch of his stuff, to be honest with you, Echo. I know that my mother was responsible. One of her day job back in the 50s and 60s was, back in the 50s really, before she got into acting, was that she worked sort of coordinating people who came to New York to play in, like, she was part of this like agency basically. And so one of the people that she worked with was a guitarist named Gabor Szabo, S-Z-A-B-O, who was a really good jazz guitarist, and I think Django Reinhardt always reminded me a little bit of him. Gabor Szabo, I think, was Hungarian, maybe? I don't 100% remember. But anyway, essential part of great guitar music. Oh, I do like jazz guitar quite a bit. Still, classical guitar is probably my favorite, but I do like jazz guitar. The truth is, I like solo guitar music, which I find very relaxing and very cool. It's one of the reasons why, if you haven't already done so, you really need to check out Sam, oh God, what is his last name? Sam from Super Guitar Bros. He has his own solo channel now. He actually, I think, releases more solo stuff than Super Guitar Bros does collectively. And so he does all these things. He's like really, really good. He has this new piece up that he just put up of this like animal. He does exclusively video game covers, but they're all like sort of classical guitar arranged. In fact, here, I have permission to play his work, so I'm going to. Okay. He had this guitar made for him. The guy custom made this guitar. This is what reminded me of when you were talking about the jazz stuff, Echo. Yep, exactly. his technique is tremendous. Like his father is a professional musician, also, and I guess that's where he got it from. But like, he does all his own arrangements. Like he's just super legit. Like Griffin, that's his last name. I actually have never seen Sam do a bad cover. Every cover he does is good. So the other thing about him is that Sam is also a goofball. So I want to play this because I always find it funny.
All right, Michael. You want to stay there? Should I
No. Okay, I want to play this part where he does his video sort of explaining who he is. Okay, let's see. Okay. This is what I mean. Oh, sorry. Stupid ad. Okay, here we go.
There comes a time in every man's life when he needs to make a choice. That choice is to redo his Patreon page so it doesn't suck as much as it did before. With new rewards, old rewards for less money, and some rewards that are the same as they were before, like tabs, which are the only thing that anybody actually wants. Oh yeah, almost forgot. There's also a second choice that every man must make. That is to upload 2 videos a month instead of only 1 or sometimes less than 1. So if you're ready for Sam Griffin 2.0 Patreon update, it's time to go check it out, dog. And to click away from this ridiculous video that I made in my basement. I would also like to note that I did make these changes to my Patreon page last month. So if you've seen it since then, it's not going to be any different.
He's so funny. He cracks me up, Sam does. I feel like my guitarist, Aaron, is like this too. He just does weird, goofy stuff. Okay, one more and then I'm gonna leave off him. See if you guys know which one this is. Oh. Well, never mind then. You were talking about the ocean. I was gonna have you guys guess, but then I realized you could see it. Anyway, you were talking about hearing the Ocean 10. Oh yeah, he knows it. It's totally cheesy. One of my all-time favorite soundtracks, Chrono Cross. He just has such clean, clear tone, like just... so great. Is really, really great stuff. I love his stuff. Anyway, okay, where was I? I was playing Bach. Let's go back to Bach. Okay, and now I can catch up with chat, which I couldn't see.
Hold your bagel before it falls.
2 inches of snow. Yeah, that's just a Tuesday in Norway, right? 2 inches was nothing for us too, living in Connecticut. For me, living in Connecticut, I grew up there. But okay, let's get back into it. My pleasure, Tench. Sam is great, and I've often thought about it would be cool to be able to get Sam in, try to get him on some music project where he actually gets to write something. Because I mean, so good. Like, Twitch is literally Tuesday. Yeah. But you people have nowhere. Look, you have no one to blame but yourselves. It's like the Canadians in chat, you know, that are like, oh man, we got so much snow. I'm like, well, you know, this is what happens when you live in the Arctic. You know, if you're gonna live in Siberia, this is what's gonna happen. But yeah, no, my pleasure. I really like his work. So I highly recommend a sub to his YouTube. Time for a bit of a snack. Got a bit of one. Alright, let's switch up the music again here. Okay, on we go. And I'm gonna go for another half hour or so, let's see if I can get a page and a half done in that time. That'd be nice. 3 pages done now. My goal is to hit 5 today, so we'll see. It's true. Well, I have my English breakfast tea, so I've been doing that too. Chilly in here. Despite the fact that I'm wearing long sleeves. How warm is it outside? It is 50 degrees. high today is 15. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I definitely feel the cold a little bit more than I used to, but I got these 2 Fridays ago. I got these nice warm socks, which were really comfortable. But yeah, I'm just feeling like around me. Yeah, it's still cold. I can definitely feel it outside. May switch into my jacket here in a minute. It was warm here before with the sun too, but the sun has now shifted over, so the sun's still out, but it's not facing in this direction. Do we have something worthy of emote, the power of emote usage there, Echo? Ah, good stuff. I'm in favor of that, for sure. See, part of the... I have to get used to this keyboard, because there's a few letters here and there that get skipped, because it's more... I don't... The keyboard is more what they call chiclet based, which is like flatter, as opposed to sort of the curvy keys that have a little bit more give. The keyboard on the older laptop was better. I still prefer this laptop overall, and the keyboard's still fine, but I need to get used to it. It is a Lenovo T480S, which the university, we had a choice of laptop, and that's the one that I chose in December. I actually chose it at the beginning of last semester, but they rolled it out. I didn't actually get it until like the third week of December. So, but like I said, much better battery life, better screen, much lighter. Oh, but it's much lighter. It's got much longer battery life. Battery life on this is on average about 7 to 8 hours. Probably 8 hours actually. If you were being really careful with it, probably 12. And if you're like just tons of high video, speakers, top brightness, it's still probably 5.5, 6 hours. So much better battery life than I had on the last laptop. It's much lighter. It's much faster. It's got an SSD, so it's like 10 seconds to shut down, 10 seconds to go into hibernate, 10 seconds to boot up again. So I have no complaints about it, except the keyboard isn't quite as good. So, but again, also I need to get used to it. So, and have not as of yet. Your 3 years of junior high? Yeah. Yeah, I got my first laptop. They started rolling out the program, the laptop program, I think maybe the year after I got to St. John's. So it was actually right around then, because I got to St. John's in 2003. So I think it was the year after I got there that they started issuing laptops. And there was always some Lenovo. I think actually the first one was an IBM. But then obviously Lenovo took over the ThinkPad line. So it's always been a ThinkPad. And sometimes they're heavier, sometimes they're lighter. This one does not have an integrated CD drive or DVD drive, because I got to the point where I decided I didn't need it. I can either use an external one, or I can, copy it onto video, but with streaming video and stuff like that, it just takes up a lot of bulk and adds cost and a bunch of other things when I don't really need it, and I really wanted lighter this time. This is definitely a thin and light laptop, so... Oh, there was some frame drops? Yeah. Well, I am doing this all on wireless. I can probably cut down... Drop this down a little bit. Okay, that may help. Yeah. No, I mean, Lenovo's the ThinkPads are designed to be sort of solid everywhere devices. Like there was I thought I played around with the idea because they had a Yoga, which is basically like a convertible type thing that can also be used as a tablet, and I thought about that. But truthfully, I have a OnePlus 6 now, and this is a big enough screen that I basically use this for tablet-related stuff, whereas the laptop is thin and light enough. The laptop is thin and light enough that I can use that for that sort of thing. The only thing this doesn't have is a touchscreen, and I don't even know that I would want a touchscreen. I'm not even sure that that it would be that important to me or interesting to me. So, whatever that's worth. Give me 1 second. Just want to check my Discord here. Yeah, the 2-in-1, which because the battery life wasn't as good. Yeah, but the thing about the 2-in-1 is that it's a little heavier, and I wouldn't use it. Like, I mean, when I'm using my laptop, I'm using it to type on, or I'm using it to stream, and the Yoga would definitely not have been strong enough to stream. Whereas this, I obviously am capable of streaming even from a wireless connection. And the only other thing I use this for, I don't use this for, I would use this for like media consumption if I'm on the road, but I wouldn't be using it as like an e-reader. I would be using my phone. So I got my phone and I got my laptop, and that's pretty much what I need. All right, give me 1 sec here. Okay, good. All right. Back into it we go. Okay. Let's keep going. Right. Yeah, exactly. I just feel like this is the kind of thing that what I really was looking for was better battery life, which I got. I was looking for lighter, which I got. I was looking for faster, which I got. And I was looking for a good keyboard. The other thing is, too, that the Yoga keyboard is nothing compared to this. This is clearly a better keyboard, and mostly what I'm going to be doing on this is a lot of writing. So if I'm doing a lot of writing on this, I need to have a good keyboard. As I say, I wish the keyboard were even a little bit better, but I'll get used to it. But definitely the keyboard is better than Yoga's. So, yeah. Hey, Genly. This is definitely not Icarus Book 2. It is a work in progress of mine. I mean, hopefully this has spoilers in quotes, I guess, in the sense that I do want this to be published sometime. But no, this is not any of those things. There's more details on those things coming soon, so we will see. But how are you, Genly? Good to see you. Let's see. Yeah, yeah, that's one of the reasons that I want to get this done before the end of the semester, which is basically the end of May, because from basically right after ArvCon, and maybe including ArvCon, which is late May, on, it's just going to be like, it's going to be busy with conferences, conventions, and other work that's coming out at the same time. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be out there, so yeah. Oh, thanks, Echo. Yeah, I watched the Tolkien trailer that you forwarded along. Looks good. Looks good. I will definitely have to watch it. It'll be interesting to see how much they can make it about Tolkien's life and how much they sort of get Lord of the Rings stuff. Okay, no problem, Genly. But how much they bring in, like, the actual Lord of the Rings story, which I understand why they would do that, but it's a little, I mean, it's been done, like the Lord of the Rings TV series is one thing, but the, as far as the, like, Tolkien story, I don't think they need to do a ton of that, because most of it'll just stand on its own as, like, trying to find out about him, the person, the writer. But, yeah. No, I am looking forward to seeing it. I actually forget who it is that they have playing him. I forget who the actor is. Geef Hugs? What do you mean, Ten? That's the name of the person? Geef Hugs? I actually was thinking it would be kind of cool if Zangief, excuse me, if Zangief from Street Fighter actually was the one playing J.R.R. Tolkien. I don't understand, I don't totally get how that would happen, but I have this image of Tolkien like grabbing like a book, outside the tavern where he would write, and just doing the spin like. Oh, I didn't see this. Geef's Hugs. I didn't see what Echo said. Zangief. Zangief. My boy Zangief. Although in Street Fighter, my fighter was always my main was always Chun-Li, and my alternate was Guile. Sonic Boom! Sonic Boom! Okay, I'll see you tonight, Echo, because I won't be here in about 40-50 minutes. So, thank you as always. Oh, Dalsim. Duna fire, yoga flame, yoga flame. Dalsim's place was the best place to fight with the elephants in the background. It was the best. Anyway, I'll see you tonight, Echo. Okay. This should be the last music I think we'll need for the day. For this afternoon session, anyway. And then doing the spin hug. Shoot, I completely forgot what I just looked at. It is Central Lane, okay. Actually, wait a second. Is it? Central Street, I was wrong. I called it Central Lane. It's supposed to be Central Street. Central Street. There we go. It's a good question, Ten. No, I usually have a bunch of notes in the document that I keep that are a few pages ahead of where I'm writing, so that I can actually just kind of scroll down and take a look at some things. But there are times where I sometimes have to go back and double check something. I probably could actually, or the other thing is if I have a chapter by chapter outline, I'll keep that separate in a separate document, and the chapter by chapter outline basically has a great deal of that lore in there. But because this book is not my normal style of book, and I'm basically writing it as almost like a set of connected short stories, it means that I don't have a chapter by chapter outline in this one. So yeah, the whole model of this is a little bit different, basically. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's more like a set of connected short stories. I mean, there is an overall arc that's developing over time, but it's, in that sense, it is, again, the influence is kind of like Graveyard Book, because Gaiman's Graveyard Book really is kind of like a set of these short stories, like the original thing on which Graveyard Book was modeled, which is the Jungle Book, which is like that too. Okay. So, I think... Let me count this down. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, did I write 6 pages? Wait a minute. Oh no, I started here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 5 pages. 5 pages, and I always like to end in the middle of a sentence because it helps me to kind of set this up. Good. Excellent. Good. 5 pages was my goal. 5 pages is what I got. All right, so okay, so let's see what this sounds like as I read this before I close up shop here. Let's see. Do you always just show up like that? When you replied, feeling her heartbeat begin to slow. Here we go. Can't you warn people before talking for the first time? The boy grinned. Sorry, Winnie. Sometimes I forget to let people know I'm standing next to them. Usually it's because I want to make things more interesting, at least. He wore an innocent look, but Winnie was not deterred. What's your name? She demanded. You know, you just walked out after class today. Not very nice of you after you got me in trouble. Me? The boy said, sounding hurt. I wasn't trying to get you in trouble. I just wanted to make you feel better. Everyone feels weird when they first get to a new place. Then why didn't you wait for me? Did you want me to hear you talking to Mrs. Fontaine? Winnie considered this for a moment. In truth, she felt out of place enough without others watching her like Mr. Wormwood when she was explaining something not very convincingly. No, I guess not, she admitted. But still, Mrs. Fontaine didn't say anything to you at all, even though you were talking too. The boy shrugged. She's used to me by now, I guess. And it's Robin. It's what? Winnie said, confused. You asked me for my name. It's Robin. Robin, Winnie repeated. Like Robin Hood? The boy grinned, the freckles around his mouth outlining his smile. Sure, something like that. How long have you been here? At the school, I mean. Oh, a while, Robin replied as he waved his hand casually. I kind of forget how long. I can't imagine forgetting a place like this, Winnie said, shaking her head as she looked up at Dovey, who was preening herself as the branch on which she was sitting swayed back and forth slightly in the wind. I think I would remember everything that happens here, good and bad. That's a lot to remember, said Robin with a smile. So, do you know that bird? Well, not exactly, Winnie replied, remembering Mr. Wormwood's warnings about not sharing too much with people she had just met. She looks kind of familiar. I've seen her flying around before. Robin said, looking up at Dovey. It looks like a pigeon, but it's kind of weird to have a pigeon that high up on the old oak. They usually stay closer to the ground. Well, I don't know, Winnie said. I've just seen her around, that's all. You know it's a she, Robin said, looking back at Winnie. How? His grin faded a bit, and Winnie noticed that his eyes were an intense shade of blue. Winnie said, thinking quickly. Well, I mean, I don't know exactly. I guess I just have a feeling. Robin nodded slowly, as if he wasn't quite sure what sort of feeling would help decide if a bird was male or female. So, what happens now? Winnie asked hurriedly, hoping to change the subject. Once we're done with break, I mean. First we head back to the main classroom for specials, then it's lunch, then break, and then gym, Robin said, ticking each item off on his fingers. Specials? Special subjects they don't do every day. French, Spanish, drama, and music. Today's French. After gym we have dismissal, which mostly means standing around doing this until everyone gets picked up to go home. One of the younger students shrieked in mock fear as they barreled toward the fountain, and Robin glanced that way before tilting his head and giving Winnie a curious look. I didn't see who brought you to school. Oh, it was Mr. Wormwood, Winnie said without thinking, then winced a second later as she saw Robin's eyes widen a bit. She had lived with Mr. Wormwood for so long that it often didn't occur to her that his name might be a bit unusual to anyone else. He wasn't exactly trying to keep his identity secret, but Winnie had the sinking feeling that telling people outside the teachers about him, probably wouldn't fit Mr. Wormwood's idea of being careful. He's just my guardian, she went on, studying Robin's face. But his expression now seemed relaxed, even uninterested. Maybe she had only imagined his reaction. And what about you? Who do you live with? Winnie asked. But before Robin could respond, Winnie saw his eyes widen again, this time at something behind her. She turned to see two older students standing there watching her. Woody didn't really yet know what every uniform stood for. Well, they certainly looked tall enough to be 8th years. One of them was a pale-skinned boy, thin, with his face drawn and cheeks hollow. He had an unpleasant smirk on his face. The other boy was considerably stockier and a bit shorter, though still well above Winnie's height. His face was freckled like Robin's, but while Robin's freckles highlighted the crinkle of his eyes and corners of his mouth when they grinned, these spots seemed to... corners of his mouth when he grinned, these spots seemed to gather on the edges of the boy's cheeks. There we go. Gather on the edges of the boy's cheeks when he moved his mouth, as if they were part of gathering storm clouds. Who were you talking to? The stocky boy finally said after looking her up and down several times as if she were a strange new food. When he blinked, I was talking to Robin, she said after a moment's silence. Who's Robin? The thin boy sneered. Winnie turned in Robin's direction, only to find he had vanished again. Great, she thought. More people thinking I'm talking to myself. He was here just a minute ago, she said as she turned back to the others. He's in my class. Has blonde hair, blue eyes, freckles. She trailed off as she saw the thin boy's sneer getting wider. Imaginary friends, the stocky boy said. That's what you think about when you're somewhere new, right? No one likes you in the new place. No one talks to you, so you make someone up so you don't feel alone. Your own special friend. He hadn't smiled at all yet, but the thin boy's growing smile didn't make Winnie feel any better. Robin's not made up. Let me do that differently. Thin boy's widening grin didn't make Winnie feel any... Damn it. Didn't make Winnie feel any better. Robin's not made up, she said, but even as she spoke, she knew how ridiculous it sounded, and she looked around hoping to catch sight of him. All she saw was the other students, a few of whom were starting to glance in her direction. Okay, the stocky boy said. Then you're just a weirdo. The thin boy burst out laughing as if his companion had just said something incredibly clever, and Winnie felt her face growing hot. Don't draw attention to yourself, she remembered Mr. Wormwood telling her that morning. Other children your age might be a little different from you. Give it time for everyone to get used to each other. She had nodded, thinking she would be happy to just blend in with everyone else. She just didn't realize how hard it would be to do that. I don't know, she said at last. He was here a minute ago, but I guess he left. Sure, the thin boy said, laughing. He went into your weirdo brain. For the first time, the stocky boy smiled and Winnie's heart sank. The last thing she wanted was to be a target, and already she could see more of the other students looking at her, pointing at her from a distance. Where are you from? The stocky boy asked. About 10 streets away, down Central Street. Not where you live, weirdo, the thin boy said, laughing again. What school did you go to before this one? Oh, Winnie said, her face growing hotter. Well, it wasn't anywhere near here. I didn't really go to one before, honestly. The stocky boy pursed his lips. So what did you do then? You can't just start going to school as a 5th year. Probably doesn't want to say, the thin boy sneered. Or her parents taught her at home. I've heard... blah, blah, blah. So there we go, people. Success. We have arrived at the great success. Cool. All right, so that came out pretty well. I actually think so. 5 pages, good. First draft stuff. So that means that I have now got to rise up on out of here because I've got to go pick up my car. Victory. 5 pages. 5 pages accomplished. So I got to go pick up my car, and then I got to go pick up my daughter, and then we've got to go hang out and have dinner and all that good stuff before I come back tonight for Esper Genesis. So tonight we will be here at Esper Genesis. Hey, what's up, Jasper? Run away! So I've got to go pick my daughter up, and then, as I said, I'll be back for Esper Genesis tonight. So Esper Genesis tonight is at 8:30. We have a little bit of a surprise for you as well, so you'll definitely want to stop by for that surprise. It should be just a little fun stuff with the channel, and more surprises coming soon. And then remember, if you are interested in playing D&D with me, D&D with viewers is tomorrow night at 7:30, starting about 7:30 or so I will try to post that when I know more details about it. And then next week, we've got Adventures of Middle-earth, we've got D&D with GOG, Storm King Times Thunder, which also is a surprise coming. We've got Assignment Impossible returning on that Friday, so we got a lot of stuff coming up, and then we got Curse of Strahd, so we got a lot of stuff coming up. It's going to be awesome times. But thank you everybody for being here. I hope you folks enjoyed it, and you enjoyed the recommencement of Fantasy Fiction Fridays. I will try to do more of this. I don't know if I'll be able to do every Friday, but I should be able to do more than once every 5 months, which is what I did the last time. And yeah, I was glad we managed to get a little bit of work done. So, but that is going to be it for me. I will see you wonderful folks tonight. So please let people know about the stream. If you haven't done so already, please follow the channel. Please check out the YouTube, the !ARV2, Discord, the !ARV Check out the thank you 10. Itchy ear. Thank you. So the Discord, the !ARV. Make sure to check out the website at arvinelleron.com. Merchandise area is !ARV shop, and of course that Patreon, which is sitting right up there. $357.96. We dropped down a little bit because one person had to dial back, but we have some other people who are supposedly telling me that they're going to be getting back in, so that's great. I want to get that up to $420 by the end of the year is my goal. And then there's the sub button. We are sitting right now at about 43, 44 subs because we had a lot of subs come off the books or are waiting to be renewed, which I think a lot of that's going to happen tonight and tomorrow. But hopefully you folks will be able to join on board with that too. So, but thanks everybody, much love, and I'm going to head out and do my thing with the child and the carp. So I will see all you wonderful people tonight for some Esper Genesis. Until then, everyone be good to each other. Love you all, and I'll talk to you soon. Oh, and also thank you to Ten of Clubs for modding today. Thank you to Nonstop Jasper Kazai. Thank you to Ten of Clubs, also as a Patreon supporter, and Nonstop and Jasper for being subs. Thank you to Apricot, Driproot, Chrono Travis, Cog Whistle, Commander Root, Determinologies, what's up? Determinologies, Ekeg, Aranth, Freest, Genli, Gorgar, Host Giveaway, Jagtris, Moobot, Mr. Mano, Nerd Evid, Positivity Bots, Scum Shop, Slow Cool, You Christensen, and Video Store Cowboy. Thanks everybody. Much love. Everyone stay warm and stuff, and I will see you folks soon. Bye for now.